So we start on the Sekha. Okay, so what is a Sekha? Sekha is a person who is in training. So a Putujana who comes into Buddha or gets in touch with Buddha or a disciple of the Buddha starts as a Sekha. He can be called as a lay person, Upasaka or Upasika, even if he is a monk, he wants to be a monk, it won't be given immediately unless he is what I can say is that he qualifies for that, basically. So we'll look at the qualification later, but first let's understand the Sekha means who is in training. Okay. So what training? What kind of training? How it would be? So for that, Buddha has divided in three parts. First part is Sila, second part is Samadhi, third part is Panya. Okay, there are two kinds of Sila. One is Sila of a normal worldling where you have to work on 10 immoral deeds. Okay. A normal worldling will not have idea of these immoral qualities. So the first thing the person is asked to do is to remove the 10 immoral qualities. And this is a sort of foundation to get into next stage, which is to penetrate. If any one of the quality is missing, meaning he has or she has 10 immoral, and then it might not work out. So why this 10 immoral and where it is and all of that is there in the Chakkavati Sutta. Okay. So the starting point of a person who is coming into the dispensation or sasana of the Buddha is the 10 immoral. Along with that 10 immoral, he is introduced to what is Buddha, not who is Buddha. There's a difference between who is Buddha and what is Buddha. Okay. Generally, a lay or a Puttujana thinks that or feels that Buddha means a person. But when a person is in Arya Magga, there is no person. That's a startling difference between what is generally thought of and what it is. Okay. So there is no person called Buddha. So we might conceptually think is a person, but no person exists. No personality exists. So if we make Buddha as a person, there is a danger. The danger is you get into self-view. Okay? And Mula Pariyaya Sutta is all about that. No self-view. So if we have a personal preference of Buddha, then we are in the wrong side. Meaning we are good, but just that we are on the wrong side. So basically, we have to start with the normal Sila, the 10 immoral deeds, or the 5 limited Sila, which is the 5 precepts, or on Uposatta day 8 precepts, but they are Punya Bhagya, meaning they lead to meritorious state of existence. And Buddha Dhamma is cutting out the existence. That's another difference. There is no Buddha, and there is nothing called as I maintain the sila. So you are doing sila to remove sila later. You're getting into samadhi to remove samadhi later. Okay. And once you get panya, you are removing the panya because you're always in panya. So the Arya Magga, as we looked into what is Arya, is just this, that you don't exist completely. So the four layers of self. First layer of the self is this named existence. The second layer of self is possessing six the six ayatana. The third layer of self is contact with the six senses, which then produces various kind of feelings and perception and all that. And the fourth deepest level of I, self, is Namarupa with Vijnana. So the objective here is to remove Namarupa from Vijnana. The Namarupa is extinguished, Vijnana is extinguished. Okay? Namarupa Samudaya Vijnana Samudayo, Namarupa Nirodho Vijnana Nirodho. So what's the objective of Buddha Dhamma? Is to cut out Namarupa from Vijnana. That's it. One single word. So to do that, from a Puttujana, from a childlike mentality, is introduced to what is an Arya. So in the Mahachattarisika Sutta, Buddha explains what is an Arya. And in many suttas also he explains on Samadhi and how it works and all that. I don't have to go there because we are restricting ourselves to Mula Pariyaya Sutta, but we need to know exactly this. Who is an Arya Puggala and who is a Sekha and who is Puttujana? A Puttujana might still be believing in the Buddha, but he's still a Puttujana. He might have statues, he might have rest of the monastery built up or as a reverence towards Buddha and all that. Still is a Puttujana. He has not understood the Dhamma. Okay. Can be called as a Buddhist, Puttujana. Can be called as a Hindu, Puttujana. Can be called as a Christian, Puttujana. Can be called as a Muslim, Puttujana. Hebrew, this, that, whatever you want to put that person, whichever categories, is a Puttujana. Even though he believes in the Buddha, it's just belief. He has no experience on Buddha. So he's a Puttujana. And then comes to be introduced to the Arya, the noble. And then his thought process changes. But when he comes to Sekha, level 1 is Sotapanna. Level 2 is Sakadagami. Level 3 is Anagami. So we are talking about that. So the basic thing what a Puttujana is doing is to have 5 precepts, reciting Iti Piso Bhagava Araham and all that, and then reverence towards Buddha, reverence towards Dhamma, Sangha, then goes to the monastery, donates this, that. All of that is Puttujana. Coming into an Arya Puggala. Getting into Arya. But is not an Arya. Not yet. He becomes an Arya only at Sotapanna. Not before that. Okay. So, Sekha is a person who is truly understanding that there is no Buddha, there is no person called as Buddha, which he initially thought to exist. So he used to be filled with tears and hearing about Buddha. Now that will stop. Why this should stop? It's because he can refine his way of thinking, meaning Tathagata doesn't exist. Tathagata exist, do not exist, all of that funny arguments is out of question because there's no personality. There is no self. If there is no self, how can Tathagata exist? It makes an absurd of that very thing you're trying to learn. So conventionally, you can say, I'm following the Buddha, but in reality, you're following the Dhamma. You're not following Buddha. You're following the path of the Buddha. You're following the qualities of the Buddha. So you are having a mirror where you can get a dopamine, a brain chemical to work. What we do is we take person of higher caliber and start exactly, call it as a copying, replicating, duplicating, or incorporating whatever English words we can use to develop the qualities of that person so that the dukkha is removed. The first quality of the Buddha is sila. Likewise, we saw in the DN1 Brahmajala Sutta, where Buddha rejects people claiming that Buddha teaches only sila. He says that is trash, it's inferior. Who on earth told them that I only teach the sila? Hey, that's not Arya. Oh my goodness, all these days I was thinking that Buddha is going to teach me sila. No. Sila is a default setting. You're supposed to be in sila. Since we are not in sila, we are making it sila, as explained in the Chakkavati Sutta. Otherwise, we are going downstream. So we have to go upstream. Go upstream, we are developing sila. That's got nothing to do with Arya. Now then the question comes, what is truly an Arya? Arya is samvatta vivatta removal. There's no expansion, there's no contraction. Or rather, there is no samsara. Samsarana. It's nissarana. It's coming out of the cycle of birth and death. So first thing first, by the time we reach Arhat, you're dead. The self in the person is completely dead. That's Aryatangika Magga on how this was accomplished. The first level was Sotapanna, second level was Sakadagami, third level is Anagami, and the fourth level is Arhat. Okay. So the first thing what we copy or we try following from the Buddha is the Sila. But that's not Buddha, by the way. That's the starting point. Just like, every road should have a starting, the road. You start with Sila. The next step is Indriya Samvara. And that extends the sila. Indriya samvarena sila. Now from here comes Buddha Dhamma. The Dhamma. What you are supposed to do in order to get into Arya Magga. Then automatically the Bhojana Matyanutta happens. Moderation in eating. And the fourth one is Jagari Yoga. So you sleep less. Not the sleep of the deep sleep. You're talking about the sleepiness of the mind. It's gone. And if you see, Buddha explains to Ananda, the first half of the night, you're awake, you are mindful. And the second half of the night, you make a wish to get up. And the third part of the night, you again do the same thing. Then you are awake. Okay. That's what Anapanasati is all about. Becoming totally aware. We'll not go there at present. So we restrict ourselves in understanding Sila, because that's the first step. When the Sila is established, and when the person knows this is Buddha who had Sila, Samvara, Bhojana Matyanutta, Agarya Yoga, 7 Saddhamma includes Saddha, Sati, Iri, Tappa, Bahusacca, Virya, Panya, then the 4 jhanas, totaling 15 Charana Dhammas, and Vijja, which comes along with that. Then I can also do it. I have the same nature of the Buddha. When that comes into being, you become a bodhisattva or a bodhisattva. Now truly you are a Sekha, because you are following qualities of the Buddha. It doesn't matter whether the idol is broken, idol is made, idol is thrown, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Because nobody can take Buddha out of you now. If it is in the idol, the moment the idol falls down, you are hurt. But here, there is no idol. Okay. Why? Because again, that brings in dukkha. And Buddha Dhamma is about removing dukkha of all kinds. So, no fascination for anything. Okay. Now, when I have this, then what happens? Then I understand the Dhamma. What's the nature? So I might understand little. Anything that arises passes away. Sun rises, sunset happens. You might say, that everybody knows. No. We cover it up by making it as a dawn, morning, early morning, then morning, pre-noon, noon, post-noon, then early evening, early night, late night, and all of these terms. So that we keep on going back to it. That's a perception, not a reality. You will not find dawn. You will not find anything called as early morning. You will not find anything called as late morning. Morning, late morning, pre-noon, noon, post-noon. You can keep on creating as much as you want. But that doesn't make it real. That is just a pointer. If somebody Want to say what it is, you can say, I'm coming to your house in the noon. Yes. Himratna, tell me. Yes.
Sir, this is by mistake it happened.
Okay. So, if somebody is of a belief, in true sense, there is a morning, is wrong. If somebody believes in true sense there is an evening, is wrong. Somebody believes in true sense there is night, is wrong. Because they are just concept, not real. So the Dhamma is seen that anything that arises, passes away, no matter you try to make it real by putting a sticker or convention. If sun rises, sun will set. If the body rises, the body will set. Now he knows every birth there is death. What we want to hide is death. So we would come up with concept. It says that he is a young person. Young by what? What degree? No, his body is young. So he will not die. Only old people will die. That's again a concept. So a sticker is put. So the Arya, when he becomes an Arya, knows that this is just a concept. There's no reality. It's just a convention. Like first year birthday. Instead of calling first death day, he is talking its first birthday. That's all. If somebody is supposed to be living, it's not real, supposed to be living for 100 years, and he has just crossed 1 year, he has 99 more left. So he's dead by one. But what you do is, that is very depressive. What people do then, a Putujana will ignore the death sign because he doesn't want to die. What he does, he makes it a birthday as though death is not going to come now. Because birth is linked to death. If you are born, you're going to die. But what you do is you celebrate it so that you forget that there's going to be death. And when you become a Sekha, a trainee, the first thing you learn is to die, is to accept death as much as birth, because it's linked. Birth brings death. If there were no birth, there's no death. Since you're born, you're going to die. No matter how much you can hide it, you can pretend, you can fool yourself by various things. By saying that, look, I am in so and so country, as though the country is going to be there forever. Or I'm in so and so road, that's going to be there forever. So you put something, sticker, that seems as though it's going to be there forever. So you put a person's name and make sure that it remains forever. So no change. So you keep on calling that person, even though his body is getting disturbed all the time. It's getting old, but still the name exists. So I can say Vilas as as an infant, and Vilas as a child, and Vilas as a boy, and Vilas as a teenager, Vilas as a adult, and Vilas as a married person, Vilas as a middle-aged person, Vilas as a old-age person. But Vilas is constant, right? At least that much I've achieved. It's foolishness. Where is Vilas to have all of this? You're just putting a label, you're just labeling it, thinking that will stay. So the first thing we learn as a seeker is to remove the labels. And your Sakkaya Ditti is removed. Yes, go ahead.
Today I was driving around because it's Thanksgiving time around US, and then it's getting into winter, so people are putting all these festive holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and I start to realize why they pick this time of year to put all these holidays, because it's literally depressing because it's getting cold and nothing's happening. So in order to make it more exciting, they say this is the New Year time to make it more exciting, so they can get some hope to get to the next summer, which people want, and spring is where hope is. But they pick this time to celebrate.
Exactly. So you start from Halloween. You require some fun. Create a Halloween so that there's some fun. And then go to the Thanksgiving. And then you go into the winter where you do the Christmas. And Santa Claus is going to come with goodies. So you feel happy that something is coming and you wait for it. You from Thanksgiving to the Christmas, you wait for the goodies to arrive. And when the goodies arrive, you feel very happy. And then the new year. And then, like you rightly said, summer starts. So then you have new lease of life. And that's exactly what a Puttujana is, a child. Doesn't know what he's doing. He only knows two things. If you take something from him, he cries. You give him something, he plays, then he gets bored. So he asks for another toy. You give him another toy and another toy. So then he gets married. That's a new toy now. So he plays with the new toy, gets bored with the new toy, and gets another one or two other toys to play with. So now those toys become bigger. Then he doesn't know what to do with them. Or they throw him or he throws them, whichever way it works. Then he wants another new toy. And that's the reason we call that person as a Putta, son. Because he doesn't know he's got nothing to do with son. He is no son or father or whatever. Just a convention. But he takes it real. So he is in samsara. So the sticker has to be removed. The first activity a seeker is going to do is to remove the stickers, which has been there for long. It's painful actually to remove the sticker. So that's the practice. So if people sitting here have already removed stickers, they are good to go as a Sotapanna. But they have seen the five aggregates. There's no person. It's only a form. Based upon the form, there is feeling. Based upon the feeling, there is perception. Based upon the perception, there is something to do about it. So you want that good feeling to arise and bad feeling to go away. So you try create scenarios, you try to create environment which will make, just like what you informed on the Thanksgiving to the Christmas. You keep on doing something. You light up the streets, you light up your home, bring a Christmas tree, some Christmas carol, some songs, and some this, some that, some party. Forget all about death. See, the whole idea is don't remember death. Pretend as though it doesn't exist. So you take the one portion, which is birth, forget all about death. So you keep on doing birthdays, but don't worry about the death day. Because you don't call it a death day, you say anniversary. Because you require a continuity. So the person continues now as an anniversary. First year death anniversary. Is this something you're doing, right? Again, there's a doing. As opposed to the person is gone. Yes, Lakshmi.
Here again we are labeling.
Yes, we are.
Here again we are labeling, no? Labeling death anniversary, etc., etc.
Yes. You're not supposed to label.
Here again we are labeling.
Yes, correct. So we shouldn't label in the mind, is what I said.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So conventionally, you can say first year death anniversary, but there is no death anniversary in the mind.
Exactly. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So you want continuity. What happens? As a person dies, very next year, he continues. Because there's a continuity. You want a continuity. He's not dead. In your mind, it shouldn't die. So you want a continuity. So what do? You say first year death anniversary. Then 10th year death anniversary, 15th year, 20th year, 25th year, 30th year. By which time this person is also dead. So then his son or daughter will be doing first year death anniversary of my father and grandfather. Now, by the time he finishes, he's dead. And then the next person will say, my great grandfather, grandfather, father, like that. Right? So, what we have seen now is you die out of old age. What if you were to dye your hairs? Put a hair dye. You're not old, so you're not going to die. This is how Puthujana would like to escape death. If you ask him, how will you escape death? He has a very crazy ideas. He will say, I will do Botox injections and then get back to shape. I'll go to gym. I will do this. I will do that. Keep on doing something or the other. Just to fake death. Just to fake it. Just to say that there's nothing called death. I'm not dying. I'm 100% certain. I'm taking care of my health. I'm taking care of wealth. I'm doing everything. And if somebody were to ask, isn't this money enough for you? He says, no. You don't know. It's too less. I say, how come? You don't know the expense that they're going to come up. What kind of expense? Medical. Then after my kids go away, I need to take care of myself. And this dirty wife is also there and she's old. So I don't know what to do with it. Okay. So I've got a lot of luggages. So I need to have good amount of money. It's a never ending process. So what a seeker learns is this. If something arises, the very thing passes away. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam iti. This is understood in totality. At the very moment, the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana stops, ending the flow for us a few second, minute, whatever it's held, just held. So the person is lost. There is no person as Vilas. He sees it as Rupa Khanda, heap of Rupa, Vedana Khanda, heap of Vedana, Sanya Khanda, heap of perceptions, Sankhara Khanda, heap of preparation, volition, whatever you want to name that, choices. There are various ways people have explained. I don't want to go into that. It just means you do something to retain something. That's all what Sankhara is. And then the conscious of what? If I see a woman wearing what I can say, veil and all that, like then I call it a Muslim. That consciousness. If I see this, I'll say beautiful woman or an ugly woman. All of that is this consciousness. That is held in check. There is no longer it is coming out because the rupa itself is not there. So there's no feeling. There's no perception. There's no preparation. There is no consciousness. From the eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. That being not there, the sekha loses the manyana, no consideration of this is me, this is myself, like that. This belongs to me, this is mine, this belongs to me, this is myself. There's no self as vilas. So the first sticker is peeled off, and that is peeled off is no longer a husband because that was attached to the sticker. There's something sticking, and that sticking is gone. What a relief! Wow! I don't have a son or a daughter. Excellent. Why? Because if Vilas were there, he would have a son or a daughter. If Vilas is not there, there's a question of having a son or a daughter. And where is the question of having a house? There is a question of having anything whatsoever. But this experience, what he has, is not lasting enough. It goes back and is again pulled back into the samsara. Meaning, he knows that he has ended it, but not as yet, because it is not become apparent, doesn't stick onto it, meaning doesn't get established in a proper way, just comes here and there and goes away. And hence he is sotapanna, one who has jumped into the stream, this stream. Yes, Lakshmi, go ahead.
Happened by mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize also.
No, that's
Sorry,
okay.
sorry.
Mrutyunjaya, go ahead.
The explanation just now you are given is very similar what Kondanya experienced when Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta was given.
Yes,
Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbantam nirodha dhammam.
correct.
That statement comes in that Dhammacakkappavattana.
Yes,
So that is how the Puttujana get transformed into Arya.
correct. To a, not only an Arya, he gets transformed into a Sekha, Sotapanna. Yes, Lakshmi.
So then Buddha is tells from now onwards the Dhammacakka has started.
Yes, because now it will end up in removing the self completely from that person.
Okay.
Okay. Once you lose the self, that this I, me, myself, that is gone. And then you say that he comes back. He or she or like whatever, the being comes back. So why does it happen? He's not completely into it, losing the self, losing all the senses.
Lakshmi,
I mean,
that
letting
were
go
to
of
be,
all this.
no, that were to be happen, then we didn't have anything called a Sekha. From Puttujana, he is an Arhat and done.
He's still, okay, he's still in the stage of
That's what I
Puttu.
told you. There are three stages.
Yeah,
Sotapanna
Puttujana,
is the first stage. Sakadagami is the second stage. Anagami is the third stage. And all the three are Sekha. They're learners.
Okay. Learners. Okay, fine.
Just
Thank
because he is able to see there is no self as a person, which is a sticker, he doesn't become an Arhat.
Yeah. He goes back into
He goes
what he was
back,
before.
however it was, because he gets pulled.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so this, it's called as Smashana Vairagya, which means when you go to a cemetery, you get into a renouncing attitude. You see people crying, wailing and all that, and then you see the body burnt and all of that, and then you feel, what is life? There's nothing there. All that we do, we keep it here. There's no point to lose it, everything anyway. But as soon as he comes out of that place, he's worked up on investment. Oh shit, today is Monday, so I should have checked on these shares or stocks. Oh, I also forgot. My son today was something. He told me, okay, let me find out. Then his wife or children or something like that gets lost in that. Because Sotapanna is something like that. Yes, Bobby.
See where this smashana vairagya, that word is used, or it's just
It is
Buddha's.
just colloquial in the Satipatthana Sutta. If you see Sivatikaya, so there are a lot of in the Dhammapada. There is also there where the person goes to Sivatikaya, but he sees a good-looking woman and forgets all about that. Verse number 284 in Dhammapada. Go and see it.
This particular word is used there,
No,
smashana vairagya.
no. That's a Sanskrit word for Pali. Vairagya is the same. Viraga. Okay. Mashana is a Sanskrit Indic word, and through which many of the Indian languages use the same word. And in Pali, you don't have smashana. Sivati, destruction place. Sivati Kaya, where the body get destroyed. Navasivati Kaya is 9 types of body destruction. Okay.
In the translation, it is in charnel ground.
They put charnel because there's no other way to explain it. Anyway, we don't have to go so detailed into which language, what is there, is again makes no sense. We have to take the essence of it. The essence here is when you see somebody dying, you go to somebody's funeral, and you, for that moment, you don't feel euphoric about it. You don't feel any good about it. You feel, what's life? He had so much. He's dead. Like if you go to a friend's funeral or a wife's funeral or a husband funeral or children funeral, the person who has lost his child, that funeral is exactly what it is. He sees emptiness. There's nothing. Like my friend who lost his son, 21-year-old, he saw emptiness. And that's how he gets into that, whatever I just now said. But after a few years, he's back in business. He forgets. So, Sotapanna is someone forget, but he knows he had achieved it. He's seen it. Okay. So, he doesn't break Sila because he's seen it. If no Sila, he wouldn't get this. So, he knows that he doesn't have to break the Sila. So, then he is moral. He can see 5 aggregates clearly. So, whenever he is at peace, he sees it. Whenever he is in pieces, he can't see it. Okay. Like that. Any question from anyone before we go next? That I will take it up on Monday. The Sakadagami, the long one. And then Anagami, and then we are going to come to Arhat. Then we are come to Tathagata. Then we start our journey into 24 of them. Like I said, not less than 30 to 60 days. So we have a lot of time. No questions, then we can close also. I have no problem. But I don't want to just keep on going next and next and next and next. So, yes, Lakshmi.
Thank you. I got it. I got the essence of it.
Okay.
Even though the words were in Pali, some of the similar to Sanskrit, maybe a little bit.
Yes.
I got the essence of what you're trying to say today. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yes, Vaidyanatji.
No, there's sir, in the Moonpriya Sutta, there is something like that. Aputhujana Pathvi as Pathvi,
I'm yet
Apad.
to start on that. I'm yet to start on the 24. That will happen maybe when I'm in the US. So hold on.
Okay, sir.
Not going to happen so soon.
Sure.
We're still way behind. By the time we understand who is Tathagata, I think I would have flown to US. And hence it is called Mula Pariyaya Sutta. Otherwise, there was no need to say Mula Pariyaya. It's a root. We have come to the root of Buddha Dhamma. And it will test your ability on how much you have known Buddha Dhamma.
So, what the traits you have discussed in last 1 2 lectures, the traits of qualities of Puthujana. So, some qualities I find in myself, and some quality of Asikha also I find in myself.
Yes, so a Sotapanna will have more qualities of Puttujana and less qualities of Arya. And hence he is the first Sekha. He just has penetrated, but he has no ability to escape from there. But then he has tasted the Dhamma, so it will automatically guide him. Dhammo have rakkati dhammachari. The one who follows the Dhamma itself will protect. So it will create condition for going forward. Like what Mrityunjaya was saying, that Kondanya was able to see this. So his Dhamma Chakka Pavattana started from then. Yes, sir.
Vilasi, you have told that this Bodhisattva is Yaka. So he is actually, when he is practicing, like he is not a Sutapanna, right? So it makes sense that he will become a Buddha eventually. Now that is that what you meant? He
See,
will,
the thing is like this, there are many kind of explaining Bodhisattva. Tattva means what? Essence. Bodhi means what? To know the Four Noble Truths. So basically, each one of us have an ability to understand the Four Noble Truths by ourselves. But when it makes very colored, it means some special person. Buddha never says this is something special. He says defilements, put a curtain. That's it. Remove the curtain and you're there. Okay. You might not become a Samma Sambuddha. That's correct. But it doesn't stop you from entering into the Arya Magga. As a Bodhisattva, you can be in Arya Magga. Actually, it is Bodhisattva. Sattva is a person, or Sattva is the essence. Essentially, you have understood the Four Noble Truths. So, if that is not true, let's say you don't have it, then none of us are in any position to understand Buddha Dhamma. Simple.
so that means that a Bodhisattva who may not become a Samma Sambuddha can also be a Sheka.
No, I'm again repeating this, Bobby. If the thing is, if Bodhisattva is a Buddha, if you equate to that, then it is wrong. Because Bodhi means what? There are two terms, Sambodhi and Bodhi. Bodhi means Four Noble Truth. Sambodhi means one who has found it for himself. So you can't find it for yourself. You require a teacher. And the teacher is the Buddha, not the agents, not me talking about. Buddha by its own definition. If you're able to understand Buddha Dhamma Sangha, then you are a Bodhisattva. Not a Bodhisattva as in the becoming a Buddha. I'm not talking about that.
There may not be an Arya.
Who might not be an Arya? What do you mean he's not an Arya?
For example, he is he has a Bodhi that, the Four Noble Truth, maybe searching for that. He understood to some level.
Then he's
But,
Arya. Then he becomes an Arya, right? What is Arya Tangikamagga? Four Noble Truth only, right? What else is there?
What I was trying to say is a Buddha, Sammasambuddha, when he is called a Bodhisattva, and he is not penetrated the Dhamma, is it?
Yes, not in the way it should be. He's searching for it. So he always say, when I was a Bodhisattva, means I am trying to find the truth. What's the truth? Can you tell me what's the truth? What do you think is the truth?
Of suffering,
No.
truth of Four Noble Truth.
What is that? There are four lakhana there. Number one, aging. Number two, disease. Number three, death. Number four, escape from death. That's Bodhi. So you have to reflect upon, why does it age? Why does something age? Simple. That's an intriguing question. Not about what is suffering. The suffering is you are not able to stop the aging process. That's the suffering. You are not able to stop the disease process. Yes, we might have hundreds of hospitals, but why require hospital in the first place? Why require medicines? Why? If you are taking by default, we will be sick. Nobody asks this question, why? Why will you get sick? This is a true intriguing question what you should have. Not just keep on reciting, it's a suffering, life is a suffering, this is suffering. Nothing like that. Have you ever thought, why? Then you will find an answer. If you don't even know that that is suffering, makes no sense. Then death. Why do we die? Why? Why will you lose? Can you stop death? Then coming out of suffering. Then you can come out of suffering. You can find a solution to it. If you find a solution to aging, if you find a solution to diseases, if you find a solution to death, then you're done. That's Bodhi. What else is Bodhi? A Sattva is a person who is in search of that. Why am I aging? So what we have found? An alternative. Go and color your skin, your hair, some stupid thing you do, and believe that you will not die. Or go on the knife, remove the skin, attach new skin, and say that, yeah, I look young. But nobody asks the question, why do you want to look young? Because deep within you know, you age, you die. Younger you are, you will not die. So, aren't you scared of death? You want to die. But death is inevitable. Now, the next thing you do is don't talk about death at all. If anybody talks about death, tell him, today is a auspicious day. How dare you talk about death? What is auspiciousness got to do with death? I'm telling you, don't talk such nonsense thing. Today is a good day. And I just took bath and came, and you're talking about death. What has bath got to death? I'm telling you, don't talk like that. You're talking nonsense. Why? It's scary. The highest scare for any person is death. And how does it show up? Through aging. What you do? Color your skin, color your hair, and hope that somebody in this group will say, Vilas, you look pretty young. Feel happy. Wow. Someone said I look young. Can you tell me again? I would like to hear. So that the death is very slow. I'm thinking the death will come maybe in another 100, 200 years. How old are you? So they'll ask, tell me what is my age, guess my age. Somebody says 30. Yeah, I feel so happy. 30. That means still 70 years to go, right? If it's 100. This is what we have to search. The Bodhisattva is a person. When he comes on the Buddha Dhamma, will understand Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. He understands the patisamutpada. And hence he becomes Arya Puggala. And once it fructifies, he is a Sotapanna. Because he now knows what's the cause, what's the reason, what's the condition for this suffering. It's the birth that created this suffering. Now you can see why did the birth happen. Because I wanted to become something. I kept a residue. So I wanted to do something. And why did I wanted to do something? Because I wanted something which I had held, which was intriguing to me, that I wanted to complete it. So I was grasping. Why were you grasping? Because I was actually craving for that feeling, which I got it. I need it. But why were you craving? Because I was feeling. But how did you feel? Because of the contact of the senses. How did you get the senses in the first place? Who gave you the senses? You are not born with senses because you don't have anything to do with senses. But I have senses and I want to enjoy through my senses, but I don't want to suffer through my senses. Beautiful. So, how do you get this suffering and enjoyment? Through consciousness. Okay? Who gave you that consciousness? Oh, it's the Dharma and the Rupa, the materiality, mentality, which created this experience. From where did you get this experience? Or because of preparing for that experience, the sankhara. How did you prepare for it? Through avidya, ignorance. And why did you ever have an ignorance? Because of asava, fermentation, or dirt, or whatever you want to call. So, asava pachaya avidya, avidya pachaya sankhara, sankhara pachaya vijnana, vijnana pachaya namarupa, namarupa pachaya salayatana, salayatana pachaya phassa, phassa pachaya vedana, vedana pachaya tanha, tanha pachaya upadana, upadana bhava, bhava pachaya jati. Now, can I stop jara? No. Objective was to do something to look young. Sir, you can't. Jara, aging. As the day ends, new day begins. Skin transforms, flesh transforms, bones transforms. Doesn't say the same. A small infant, next day is not the same. The next day is not the same. The next day is not, is getting into jara. And with every jara comes marana, death of that body. Now I see it. And when I see it, I see yam kinchi samudaya dhammam. When the dhamma arises, sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. All that is. Isn't it true? Can I become that small infant back again? Yes, in a new body. Can't go back. Just can't go back in this life. No. Can I go back to 21st of November 2024? Can I go back to this day I met Ashwin at his home, which was 30th of September? No. Can I go back to the embassy for fingerprinting? No. Can I go back to the embassy to get the visa? No. Like Shreyas, he's now got a visa, but 1 week back he never had a visa. Can he go back to that? No. Can he go back to his fingerprinting? No. Can he go back to his interview? So nothing can be gone back, basically. It's forward pulling, it's not backward pulling. You can't go back and do something. So what was past is gone forever. And whatever is the future is an extension of the past. You believe it exists. In true sense, there is no future. There's only the current moment. That's it. And when somebody knows that, he gets the relief of getting out of the past and the future, and hence called as a present only. Only in the present, being in the present, not the past or in the future. So when he becomes a Sotapanna, to become a Sotapanna, he already has the Bodhi, get the knowledge. So when we use the term Bodhisattva, it is representative of many things. In Mahayana, they use it properly. They say everyone is a Bodhisattva. That's the right way of looking at it. Why? Everybody has the ability to penetrate into the dukkha. As simple as that. What is dukkha? How was I born? That's the dukkha. What were the conditions? What were the situations? Or what were the origin, condition, and the reason for me to be born? That's the intriguing question what you should have. And you are on directly on the Buddha Dhamma. That's it. You just take jati. You can see that jara, marana, soka, parideva, dukkha, domana, supayasa is a continuous flow. Just take jati, birth. That's it. So, in essence, bodhisattva are actually the 7 things what you should have. Nibiddhaya, viragaya, nirodhaya, upasamaya, abhinyaya, sambodhaya. If you don't have sambodhi, then you will not get nibbana. So what are we trying to do then? I don't understand. Why are we on Buddha Dhamma? Because you can't achieve it. Only Samma Sambuddha can achieve it. And that's it, over. So the Samma Sambuddha is different. Having an experience of Sambodhi is different. Being a Bodhisattva is different. Because you need to have a Bodhisattva in you to get into the truth. So there are two kinds of individual. One who are on Bodhi, one who are not on Bodhi. But if they have an inclination, if you ask them a right question, it might create a stir in their mind, get into the Bodhi. Example, let's say a complete materialistic person is, or my colleague or my friend, who is working hard and doing everything. He's become vice president, earning close to 10 million Indian rupees. Oh, yeah, 10 million. Yeah, 10 million a year. But he is unhappy. Let's say he meets me and he says that, Vilas, you know what? This politics I don't like, and this I don't like, blah, 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 blah. Then I say to him, look, my dear friend, life is certain or uncertain? Uncertain. Very good. What is uncertainty? Can it be predicted or can it not be predicted? It can't be predicted. Very good. The situations can be predicted or can it be unpredicted? Situations are unpredicted. It can come out of blue. Very good. Is market predicted or not predicted? Market is not predicted. Can't predict the market. Very good. Can the climate be predicted or unpredicted? Climate cannot be predicted. Very good. You going on your career path, can it be predicted or unpredicted? It's unpredicted. Very good. So, my dear friend, in that particular case, what is certain and what is uncertain? Certainty is you not living is certain. Can you be certain you will be working with this company? Can you be certain this company will ever exist? It depends on market. Very good, sir. That means if they're not doing good in the market, they're going to die, right? Yes. Like Yahoo, they're doing pretty good. It's gone. Like Nokia, gone. Like many other companies, like Java, it's gone. They're doing pretty well. So many companies, gone. That means they're dead. So, only certainty in life is death. Is it true or not? It's true. So, can you then confirm you're going to die now? No. Unpredictable. It's uncertain. Very good. If this is uncertain, does it bring you happiness or sadness? It brings in sadness. Why? Because it's unpredictable. Very good. And if it is unpredictable, then can you do something about it? I can't do anything about it. Excellent. This is what Buddha calls it as anicca, dukkha, anatta. And if it sticks to him, meaning if he starts thinking on that, yeah, right, nothing that I can predict, nothing that I can say will happen, cannot happen. But death is the only certain thing. We are bound to die, and every product dies. We call it as end of life. Like I have an iPad too. I have forgotten the passcode for that. It's a 2011 model. So my wife was asking, let me use it. So I tried my best to remember the passcode. It didn't work. So I called up Apple Care Center. They said, sir, to unlock it, you will spend a good amount of money because we can't buy back that product. You have to give us money to take that product. But while I was in the US, I have paid $599 for that piece. Okay, and 32 GB RAM. Okay, iPad 2, that was greatest thing. iPad 1 had come, that was almost an end of life. So when I was in the US, made sure I go to the Apple store, booked my first iPad. And it's huge line to buy iPad. Now the same Apple says, you have to pay us or just throw it out. So every product goes with end of life. Every product. So if every product goes end of life, so this product also goes end of life. So that is the only certainty. You can be certain of death. So there's an aging process. So iPad 2 had an aging process. It aged and aged and aged and aged, and they said, oh, sorry, we don't do anything anymore. Same thing with Windows 3.1 or PC DOS became MS DOS, Microsoft DOS. Okay. Then there used to be people using it. They used to give big floppy drive. Then it became small floppy drives. Then CD came. So why? Because there is always death. So if I were to meet someone who is a materialistic and I ask him this intriguing question, which there is no way he can escape, death. If I throw that in his mind, he will become a bodhisattva. Why? It starts eating him up on the question, why will I die? Why do products die? Why do services die? Why do companies die? And that's it. He's choked up. He now wants to know an answer. And then he comes to me again. Vilas, you seem to be sensible. Tell me, do you have an answer to this? I don't have an answer, but my teacher has. Who is this teacher? Buddha. Can you show me Buddha? Yes, I will show him in the Dhamma. It's alive. So he becomes a Sotapanna. Then and there, the very moment. Because now he understands the madness he was in. Being a vice president of a company, getting into all kind of notorious things. Now he finds it's useless because when you're not even living beyond a day, what's the point in striving like this? When the night comes, he's gone. What's the point? What's the point? He lets go of it. The moment he lets go of it, he finds relief. So then he knows this is Rupa, form. Form is a form. iPad is a form. There's no feeling associated with iPad. That's true because nobody wants to buy now. There's no perception of iPad 2. It's just a piece of metal now. What was iPad 2 in 2011 when I bought? 2024, nobody cares. There's no perception. There's no preparation. You can't prepare that iPad any longer. It's gone into coffin. You just throw it in coffin. Nothing you can do to revive it. And is there any consciousness to that? Can you experience that iPad? The touch I had is gone, right? The sight I had is gone. And I had a taste of taking that iPad and putting it on. And, such a nice, it's gone. It's gone. What's the point? It's the same thing with this body. What's happening there, happening here. After a few years, nobody cares about this body. It's aged one. Lot of pains, lot of complaints. So yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam iti. Pandanya was not a Buddhist follower. He was a Jain, just like Buddha. He was following austerities of the Jain. And he became a bodhisattva then and there. So what Mahayana did, they at least put this thing right, that everyone is a bodhisattva. That makes sense. So basically, if you are able to get this, with this intriguing question, why do we die? Why the product dies? Why the countries perish? Why the world comes to an end? Why there is a big bang and a big contraction? Now, the universe is expanding. Few million years, the universe starts to contract. It contracts back to the zero. Why? That's law of nature. That's Dhamma. Whatever arises, ceases. And hence it's called universal principle. Anicca dukkha anatta is universal. Because if you hold on to that as it's eternal, and you are in dukkha. So can I ask this question to every single person whom I meet in the office when he complains that this product is blah, blah. Is it certain or uncertain? Uncertain. Excellent. If it's uncertain, can you hold on to the view that you will make it certain? Isn't that dukkha then? Aren't you suffering with it? Can you do something about it? That's all, Bobby. And your bulb will open up and you say, I am a bodhisattva. Because now you understood it. Mrityunjay, go ahead.
So we can also, I'm asking, the aging is a process where it takes us towards death, which is certain.
Correct. That's correct.
So then, in that sense, disease also is some certain process which will facilitate aging and bring back to nearness to death. Also, can we imply that?
Sir, with the birth comes aging, decay, or disease and death, all happening at
Okay. Birth is the cause for aging. Birth is the pachaya for disease. Like that, we have to take, no, sir.
that is how it is written also, if you have understood it properly.
Okay. As per Paticca Samuppada.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Lakshmi, go ahead.
I can I just
So this cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi can be broken, or like by consistent and persistent sadhanas.
Yes.
You have to be very consistent in doing
Yes.
all
So
the
you need
sadhanas.
to be on this subject, like what Buddha did, continuously watching it. Then you will start watching it in the breath itself.
Okay.
The birth of the breath, decay of the breath,
Okay.
the disease of the breath, and the death of the breath. Then again, new breath, and then all the four. Then you see that it is conditioned. Breath is a conditioned phenomena. So now you can stop the breath. And when there are no mental objects, the breath stops. And when the breath stops, you are alive and everything is dead. Then you have ended the birth and the death cycle forever.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Yes, Kalpana, doctor, go ahead. Oh, he didn't have anything. Okay. Yes, Mrityunjay, go ahead.
Sorry, sir.
This again, Yankinchi Samudaya Dhammam, Sabbantam Nirodha Dhammanti. It is similar to Paticca Samudaya, we tell, no, sir, that if
No,
this is there, this is
that is Patisamutpada only,
okay.
not
Okay.
like.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
Patisamutpada only. So let's see how it is. So first you have to know the formula. There's a formula to it, not the Avidya Pachaya Sankhara. That's not a formula. That is the result of the formula. The formula is this being, this comes to be. With the arising of this arises. With the arising of the birth, the death comes to be. The arising of the birth, death happens. Okay? Now, this does not come to be. This not being, this does not come to be. The cessation of this ceases. This not being, birth not being, death does not come to be. With the cessation of birth, death ceases. Because they are linked. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam. If there is a samudaya of anything, tabbam tam nirodha dhammam. So, Rupa Samudaya, how it happens? Ahara Samudaya, Rupa Samudaya, Ahara Nirodha, Rupa Nirodho. So the arising is seen, cessation is also seen. So if you are on the first of the Patisamutpada cycle, you are seeing all arising things. And if you are on the second, see the cessation. So if you were to drop off the Phassa contact point, Patisamutpada comes to an end. Then you are released from birth and death cycle. So that one single line, yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam iti, is sufficient to awaken anyone from the sleep. Yes, are you?
So I'm contemplating this because you said this Arya is one who knows death, right? But these Puttujana, deep down, they also fear death. Meaning
They fear death. There is Knowledge of death is different than fearing death. We all fear death.
So I guess what you were saying is deep down in the unconscious, there's this constant, they know this death.
Yes, a Puttujana knows, fears death. Sotapanna fears no death. Sakadagami fears knows death. Anagami fears and knows. Arhat has no fear but knows death. Why is like that? Because Puttujana has I. Sotapanna also has an I. Agami also has an I. Anagami also has an I. Arhat has no I. Not EYE, I as a deep. He's already removed the outer sticker, and hence Buddha says 5 lower fetters. Sanyojana is removed. But what has to be removed is the highest level of Sanyojana or the fetter. That is not removed. As long as avidya is there, so long the person exists. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking because like due to fear, these Puttujana or whoever person who's not Arya keeps running away from seeing it, hence the knowledge never arises, right? So could I understand it as this bodhi? Like because the moment he sees it, it become this is the bodhi, he sees it, but it's chasing him, but he's running. Okay? But if he stop for a second and wait until it catches him, then he sees it, and then this make him like a bodhisattva, or this awakens
Makes
him.
him an arhat just like Angulimala. It crosses everything in a second. That's what Buddha did. Hey, you stop. And then Buddha said, I've already stopped long time ago. It's you who is running. My God, thank you. Oh, that's it. Like Bahia. Just direction, nothing else. Go this way. Tato tvam bahia. Tatena, natatta. Simple. He understood. Not this, not there. Yeah, got it. So are you, if you are like that, done. But the bodhi is there, but it doesn't stay. The problem. And hence Kamachanda is there in a Sotapanna, almost equivalent to a Puttujana. But he will not do immoral acts, that's all. But he will enjoy every senses. Sakadagami does not enjoy, no, he does, but he doesn't possess it. And Anagami is one who has given up sensuality itself. There's no enjoyment or suffering. Like I was saying many times, I've been saying, even now I say, Aryu, if I were to close all the 6 sense doors in the flight and I make nimitta symbol, once the aerostess informs we're landing in San Francisco, and that's it. The 16 hours flight became like this. At least in my case. For others, they are watching the entertainment channel, they are doing this, they are doing that, they're walking, they are drinking, they're eating, they're doing all kind of nonsense. But in my case, no sensual. But the point, that's the difference. If I'm a Sotapanna, I'll not drink. But then, yes, sir, Can I have that juice what you brought? Oh, yes, give it to you. Yes, sir. Is the flight on schedule? Yes, yes. And you can actually see it on the screen after a few minutes. Yes, sir. What kind of juices do you have? No, we already given you the menu. Ah, okay, sorry. Yes, sir. Can I have this juice? Okay. Yes, it's tasty one. Can I have another one if you don't mind? Otherwise, don't take trouble. If it's a Putvajana, he will say, give it to me, I paid it. The Sotapanna would say that if you wouldn't mind. Okay. And yes, sir. What time is the lunch? Sir, we are just on the flight. Just give us another couple of hours. Give you lunch. Okay, thank you. And he puts on the music and noise cancellation thing, and then oh no, that nice seat, all of that. Enjoying every damn. But once in a while, it gets to him. Is it permanent? No. I've spent already 2 hours in the flight. Gone. What's the point? Then he withdraws his sense and he's able to get into the peaceful state. And when the air hostess comes, and sir, can you want to have lunch? He says, never mind. So you were asking, never mind, thank you so much. I'm not feeling that hungry. Okay. We'll give you whenever you want. Yes. Then looking at my face, the air hostess says, sir, today we are not full. Looking at your nature, we feel very happy. You can, if you want, you can go to the business class and you're okay with it. There's no extra charges. Okay, good, good. But if it's a Sakadagami, you wouldn't care. Business class, economy class, this class, as long as it's a plane. Nagami has no concept of the can shut out and just sit. And that's it. Done. Gone. So once the flight takes off, the flight off. Because that is the highest sukha. Otherwise, what happens? I'll tell you. Once you fly, you can go to the camera view and you can see the flight going up, and then you're seeing down what things are coming. Then 13 hours, 10 minutes to San Francisco, 10 minutes, 10 hours, 15 minutes to San Francisco, 8 hours, 5 minutes to San Francisco, 4 hours, 6 minutes to San Francisco. And I'm always wondering, oh, San Francisco, I'm coming close. Are you? I'm going to meet Chirag. I'm going to meet this, that. When I meet, I'm going to do this, do that. Lot of planning and blah, 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 blah. Stupidity. Which San Francisco are you talking about? Off. Just 15, 20 minutes. Reflect on the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, off. Finished. And when you just open up your eyes, your R and what happened then? You're completely aware, but cut off. You're not sleeping. There's no sleep. There's absolutely no sleep. You're not sleeping like the midnight sleep. No. You're sleeping to the world, awakened inside. Bodhi is inside. You're just watching everything flowing. There's nothing staying. You can hear the air hostess coming here, going there, and all that. You can hear people chatting and all that. And even open your eyes and just sit like this without doing anything. Just be on the breath. That's it. So all that I need to do, Ariu, from the time I start from my home to the time I land up at your home is this. That's it. Done. So will I get tired? No. Will I have jet lag? No. There's nothing. You have not traveled. So where's the question of getting jet lag? Over. So when we land, that's it. So we can go wherever, do whatever. Now, it would be day in Bangalore. It would be 9 o'clock by the time go out and all that to your home. And maybe 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in your place, which will be around 10:30 here in the morning. But will I get sleep? Yes. The same 10 o'clock sleep. Because nothing has changed. So you're done. Yes, sir.
The same kind of sleep where you just described you doing on the plane. Are you able to do that every day instead of actual deep sleep?
Yes. I can get into a sleep while sitting here. Just cut off everything. Like what I did in VRI last year. When
So
Shreya
you
was-
don't require regular deep sleep like that. You can always do this kind of sleep instead of that sleep.
I can do both. I can do that. I can do this. What's this? Yes, Padmavati ji.
Namo Buddhaya, sir.
Namo Buddhaya.
But teacher Samupada, you told results of the formula. Correct, na, sir?
What is Samutpada is what?
Results of the formula.
Yes.
That
Is
formula, just one more time, please repeat it, sir, if you don't mind.
that which one?
That formula, sir, results of the formula.
Result of the formula is the 12 link.
Only.
Iti imasmim sati idam hoti imassa upada idam uppajjati iti imasmim asati idam na hoti imassa nirodha idam nirujjati. This Pali.
Yes, sir.
The English is this being, this comes to be. With the arising of this, this arises. This not being, this does not come to be. With the cessation of this, this ceases. So if you take two link between the birth and death, birth being, death comes to be. With the arising of birth, death arises. With birth not being, death does not come to be. With the cessation of birth, death ceases.
Yes, sir. I got it. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Yes, Lakshmi.
Sir, pardon me for asking this. I travel a lot, like I'm on the flight quite many times, and I have claustrophobia. And can I get into this breath awareness meditation to overcome that?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, next time I'm flying, maybe in February, I will be doing that because I get a little. This has happened with age. Earlier, I used to travel to London also without feeling anything. But with age, I sort of developed some kind of flight phobia also. So, and my husband is scared to let me go alone. He says, "Tujhe kuch na kuch hota hai, to better travel with me or the children." So I want to overcome that. It has happened in the last few years only. Sorry, I'm getting into all this.
That's okay.
Just wanted to ask you.
You don't have to be sorry. Even I took out that just to give you an example.
Okay, so let me try this breath awareness meditation when I get into the flight next time.
So what do you
Thank
need
you
to do?
so much for that
Yeah,
class.
sure. Lakshmi, what you need to do is when you sit on the flight, when you put your belt, seat belt,
Uh-huh.
Just observe the body from top to bottom, from head to toe,
Okay. Okay. Bring the awareness. Okay.
in forward
Okay.
and reverse, both
Okay.
directions,
Okay.
and
Okay.
sideways.
Okay.
You get some kind of energy pull, and once you get that, just stop there, and then you'll see it'll automatic. It'll keep on watching breath going up, down, and the body will get dissolved. When you get dissolved, in the body has got dissolved,
Okay.
and that's
Okay.
it. Just stay in that.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, Padmavati,
No, so finished.
finished, but your microphone is still open, and hence I asked.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, anybody else? So this is how you do the yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha. And hence you are a sekha. Now you'll never forget. Because you've seen Patisamutpad. So should we end, or what do you want? Okay, then good day. We meet on Monday.